Let's see. See if I can get a list going. Hello, everybody. Who is all in here? Wait a minute. We're locked. Save. A list going. All right. Hello. Let's see who's all in here. Do, 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 do. Okay. It looks like we're finally live. Woohoo! So, you guys, I was not planning to come on. But yes, if you saw my tweet, please retweet this out. This was very sporadic. This is like, I don't do very many lives yet for good reason, because I am not prepared. I don't have any water. I need water. Okay. But I am like, my adrenaline's pumping, you guys. That episode was amazing. I can't wait to talk about it. See if we can get some more people in chat first. So I'm gonna work the Twitter just a second and see what we can do here. Yeah, I am really excited to hear what you guys think about. Well, first of all, I just want to know y'all have seen it, right? You guys have seen it? Oh my gosh. Gary just got off and he had like 1,500 people. So in the chat, people were like, is anyone else live streaming? And I was like, oh, hell, I guess I'm going to get online, do it. You know what? I will get some water. I'll be right back. 1 second. Okay. How bougie is it of me to have a water bottle with a straw in it? Is that pretty bougie? Probably. I can't help it. Okay, I'm going to try to get comfortable. This is the worst chair ever. One of my first things I'm going to buy whenever I get monetized is a good chair. I have a horrible chair. All right. I hope I did my tags right in this. There's so many people online looking at videos right now, reactions. I tried to tag this live stream the right way so that hopefully people will stumble onto it. We'll see. I don't know. All right, Devil-Eyed Elvis, thank you for your help and support with this. George, good to see you too. Thanks for all your support. You guys are awesome. Who else is in here? We got 4. All right, we're going to keep building it up. I know it's early, you guys, but we're going to do this. I'm so amped. I've got so much to say. You see this? This is classic Candace. Y'all see this? Y'all know me. Notes. Yes. They don't call me Geeky Candy for nothing. I was ready for it today. All right. So you were a fan of what they did today. First of all, I'm curious. Did anybody here start to feel little moments of the originals? Like, did you have like those nostalgic moments? And if you did, what was one of them? I'm going to see if there is anybody else too that I think there's a few other people online that are interested in possibly streaming too. Let me see. While we're still building our room out here, let's see if I can see who is all up. to stream. All right. Go to bed, DJ. I can't. I have got some adrenaline going right now. I am excited. This was amazing. I hope that everybody in here right now saw the show, because I wasn't going to do this, but I think I am now. I think we're going to talk some spoilers when I do like discussion, because it's hard not to. There's some really fun stuff. And we got 6 now. Yes, guys, getting big. It's not quite like Nerdrotics 1500, but they're all going to go somewhere. Maybe they'll find me. Hugo, man, I still cannot see this in my country. I have to wait some hours. Oh no. Well, I don't want to ruin it for you. I don't want to tell you to skedaddle, but it's up to you if you can handle a spoiler or 2 or more. Devil-eyed. Oh, okay. Here we go. George B.D. Lucas. Yes, it pissed me off because it showed me how good they can do stuff. Oh, you were excited by that. I like that. The tone felt very New Hope. Yes, it did. There's a lot of things in production that they did. They specifically chose to do to mimic the feel of A New Hope, including the choosing the animatronics and puppets versus CGI for characters. Quill was fantastically done. Yes, he was puppet-like, but that's okay. That's okay. We like that. Maestro Drake says, this seems close to Star Wars Underworld. Okay. Wanted to release in 2012. You know, it's funny you say that. Somebody else that I know that knows a lot more than I do about the EU mentioned that same thing. Talk to me about it anyway. So there was a mention of Underworld very briefly towards the beginning, and I wrote it down in my notes because the way that they said it made me feel like it was important, and that perhaps we'll get some more information on what that is all about. And to be honest, I don't know that part, so it's tough. Can't make a call on that. So sorry, Hugo. That stinks. Yes, ending is unexpected. I'm not going to talk about the ending just this second. I'm going to wait until, just a little bit. We're going to kind of go through chronologically, kind of the stuff that I was really interested in. You're going to get a kind of a preview of my in-depth review that I plan on doing with a lot of the graphics from the show. Of course, I have it all ready to go. I just got to put it all together, put all the pieces together. And then I noticed we have to wait for a new episode. But DJ, the episode comes out Friday. It's not even a full week away. We can totally wait that long, right? It's like 4 days. And oh my gosh, Friday's crazy, you guys. Fallen Order comes out. I pre-ordered that game. I'm gonna try to do some gaming live play, but then I also am gonna be doing Mandalorian. And then that night I'm gonna be on Gary's Neurotic stream for Friday Night Tights. So I don't know how I'm gonna get it all done. Hugo, you don't mind about spoilers. Okay, good. You're in the right place then. DJ Scandalous. Let's see here. No binge watching allowed. Yeah, that's a smart approach. God, I wish some of the others would be doing that, because you lose your sense of community with others watching this if you don't have that. Yeah, several puppets. That's right. There were. Netflix will have to make some moves. I'm impressed with how much Disney has on the service already, especially since Hulu and ESPN will be bundled with it. Yeah, the streaming wars have been pretty intense, and they're going to get kicked up a notch this next quarter. I have a feeling it's going to be interesting to see what changes are going to take place to stay competitive, pricing and all that. I'm just curious, who's gonna fold, who's gonna get together. Interesting. Maestro, I hope the Mandalorian could go to Coruscant, because that was the original intention. Yeah. I think we're going to have flashbacks to that. I think that place that I'm thinking that the place in this flashback could possibly be that place. I think. Could be wrong, but that's, in fact, those of you who watch my reviews, I got it right. That family that was in the, the red robe attire, that was a flashback. And a lot of people were thinking that that was going to be the bounty, that little boy or little girl, can't really tell, was going to be the bounty. I was like, you guys. I think that's our Mandalorian. Big brain. Just kidding. It's a PewDiePie thing. Big brain. Devil-eyed Elvis. Fallen Order so far is very good. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm hoping EA sees the reasons why it's important to not only focus on multiplayer. I love multiplayer. I have a hard time getting into single player. But multiplayer is such a, gosh, they just charge you out the wazoo with DLC and all the other things that you can do. It's a racket. And to put out a fully functioning, solid game that you pay one time for, it's going to be interesting to see if it's successful, because if it is, then EA is going to have to take note and make some changes with other games down the line, perhaps. Hello, Norwegian Kryptonian. Did you just come from Gary's stream? Were you on there too? I think I saw you. Yeah, it'll give you guys time to review each episode. Exactly. What am I supposed to do with The Expanse? The Expanse comes out December 12th. I think December 12th or December 13th. All of it. I don't know. I'm new at this. I don't know. I barely can do a review on a single episode, much less the entire series in one day. Let's see how we can do that. Jeff W. Hey, rookie. How are you tonight? Did you see The Mandalorian? We're going to be talking about that. I hope you saw it. Lil Yoda. Okay, you did. Okay. Answer my question. All right, we're up to 16. Good job, guys. Keep it up. Retweet. Okay. Narkle Darberby. Oh, that's an interesting name. I like that. How did you like The Mandalorian? Well, I'm glad you asked. That is why I jumped on here. I have my notes. Lots and lots of notes. Yeah, so I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Where do I start? Let me get to the beginning here. So I don't know if you noticed this, but in the very beginning, like the first 20 seconds, I'm very keen to notice little details. If you haven't noticed by my trailer breakdowns, the music that was playing was a different version, a different rendition of the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly famous Western song that I hate singing, but yes, you know what I mean, right? That song. So they had that going the very beginning, and you have your super stalwart, just like very serious Mandalorian walking into the cantina, just kind of, new guy, and the locals just eyeing him down, and not many words are said, and it's very, so super like consistent with that theming of the Western, the spaghetti Western. I loved it. Right down to, and I love the misdirection. At first you see him walking with a device and you're like, okay, I really don't know what this is. Don't know what world I'm in. And that's kind of one of my gripes. Actually, if I can kind of divert a second, not knowing names and places. I like to know everything. So that was tough for me. But I just let that slide because I'm like, okay, yeah, we're here for the main character, basically, right? We got to give him a chance to shine. So so you see him walking in and you think he's there to save this guy, right? Because he's about to get in trouble. So he takes out the baddies, and then we see, oh yeah, he's a bounty hunter. That's right. He's going to collect the guy. Makes a whole lot of sense. So I love that slight misdirection there. I'm sure most of you got it, but I was just so in awe of the music at that point that it just left my brain that, yeah, he's probably there for a bounty too. Anyway, so yeah, I love when he says to him too, I can bring you in cold, or bring you in warm, or bring you in cold. Very, very fun. The dialogue I enjoyed. Let's see. I'm going to catch up on a couple super chats before I move on to the next part that I kind of dive into some details. Let's see here. Devil-eyed Elvis. I work in the game industry. They're a pain to deal with. I hope EA can see the light. Yes, me too. Me too. EA had a great time. Like, there was a heyday for EA. It did have a lot of great moments in its, but Battlefront 2. I mean, I liked a lot of it. But I don't play it as much as I played Battlefront 1. Because, yeah. It was a failure to me because of that. Jeff W. I watched Gary's review, not getting Disney Plus yet. Well, I don't blame you. I respect that, to be honest. The second episode comes out on Friday. And if there's a lot of great reviews, if it's a really good show, then I don't know if it's worth $6.99 or what is it, $6.99 or $7.99 or something like that. I don't know. Is it worth it for a show? I think like the second episode is going to make or break a lot of people on the fence. I feel like we got a lot of information towards the end of this. And I feel like the next episode is going to definitely pull us, I think it's going to pull us one way or the other. Narkle, nice. DJ, did Gary give it a bad review? He was down the middle. And that's where I assumed he was going to be. He is someone who has a lot of knowledge in the EA part, but he also he kind of takes things like he has pretty fair gives pretty fair reviews on things in front of him, and maybe his EA knowledge isn't as extensive as some other people's, but I feel like he had enough to kind of give himself a guideline to judge this by. And it was very down the middle with a lot of caution about where it could lead. And I agree with a lot of that. And I'm excited to talk to him about it, especially after the second episode on Friday, to talk to him about it on his live stream on Friday Night Tights. Okay. DJ, I enjoyed it. Didn't see any feminist crap yet, like the pics Doomcock posted. Well, I'm so happy you mentioned that. I do not think that is going to be an issue. A lot of people went into this thinking that little girl was going to be the key to everything, that she was going to be the bounty. Nope, not this time. And I think that the role of Cara Dune is going to be a solid, strong female role. But I don't think it's going to take over the protagonist. I don't think it is. And I don't see, there always could be something, but based on what I've seen, I just don't think that that's the case. I think that if they do introduce a strong female, if you haven't seen my videos, I think if they do introduce a strong female, it's going to be somebody who had raised him because he lost his family in the siege of Mandalore. I think that's what their flashback is. I think that person could be someone like Bo-Katan, which if you're familiar with Clone Wars, she was a very popular female Mando, sister of Satine. And Satine was the love interest of Obi-Wan. So there's connections there. And Obi-Wan was there also. Let's see. Jeff, overall, sounds like a cool episode. Yes, it was. I liked it thoroughly. Not saying the names or places was to the credit of the story. He just goes to the place to do his job. That's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah, it's telegraphing that where it doesn't matter. Yeah, I agree. I think there, and I'm going to mention some things. There is a lot of intent in the choices they made dialogue-wise. Things that we saw in the very beginning that had a harkening back towards the ends, oh, that's why they said that. That makes sense. And so that level of detail makes me feel like you're right. Absolutely. That's why they did that. I'm going to go through a couple more and then I'm going to get back to my review. Sebastian Stan as Luke or Tamora Morrison as Boba will be welcome additions. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I still don't know if Boba's going to make an appearance. I have seen several interviews with both Jon Favreau and Pedro Pascal denying that he is Boba Fett. I don't know. We'll see. Sure, they could lie, but who knows? So going on with what I was talking about. So after the cantina scene and after he captures his bounty, right? Land speeder Uber, you guys. That's what I got. It was like an Uber for land speeder. I loved it. It was like a kind of a fun reference to today using I love the land speeders too. Those are so cool looking. And in the last trailer, I think it was, the TV spot 10 or 9 or 10, they had you saw that like sea monster coming out. And if you saw my video today when I posted it, I was like, what is that thing? I need to go on Wikipedia and figure it out. Okay, yes, a Ravenax. We found out. I loved how they introduced it to us, where the land speeder Uber kind of just jettisons off his own way, and then you see like that movie. What's that movie that has like the sand snake? I forget. Tremors. Like that one scene from Tremors where you see like the ground starting to separate, and it goes. You can tell it's making like It was so well done. And you're like, oh shit, that's what that is. Okay. Yeah. And you see, and then you get like this amazing view of the Razor Crest, a kind of a slow approach right before all the craziness with the Ravenex. That was pretty awesome. So yeah, so they fly up the planet, and it was really weird to me. I know this was, maybe I just missed it, but the bounty was able to access the weapons bay kind of thing, or weapons closet of the Razor Crest, and then he closed it. I didn't understand why that was. I didn't understand how he had that access. So, and of course, he made another Life Day reference while he was captured. So that was interesting. So then he flies off and enters the second cantina with his bounties to Mr. Grief Karga, played by, what's his face? Oh my gosh. What's his name? That's going to kill me. Tell me his name in the chat, please. I'm like, y'all, it is 2:40 in the morning where I am at. This is, I probably shouldn't have made this one of my first live streams. Come to think of it, I probably shouldn't have, but just dive into things. That's kind of what I do. Let's see. Jeff W. That's good, DJ. Finally, a break. Gary said it was paced like a cartoon. Yeah, I agree with that to some extent. I really do. It was good, very good pacing. Very good pacing. How do you like Disney Plus so far? I mean, I've only seen The Mandalorian. I'm okay with that. I'd pay $6.99 for the show. I liked it that much. I'd pay more probably. I feel like this is a show that was made for a theater, to be honest. I mean, it was visually stunning. The music was wonderful. Yeah, that's where I fall on that. Freaking love Tremors. Oh, Orville Nation. Good to see you on. Good to see you on. You guys, a bunch of night owls with me tonight. I love it. Jeff W. Freaking love Tremors. Yes, Tremors was great. Graboids in space. Question is, what day of the year is Life Day? Yeah, I don't know. I just know the basic reference with the Wookiees in the Star Wars holiday celebration, and they wore the red cloaks. And those were what the family wore before they got torn apart, I guess, by the battle droids. Nick Nolte. Yes, his character. We're going to get into that. Very interesting character. Probably one of my favorites of the dialogue that he had. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're going to get there. Carl Weathers. Thank you. Yes, Carl Weathers. Random Brad creates. Hails chat people. Can't stay for long. Dropping that like. Oh, you're sweet. Thank you. Going to bed. Have a good night. Thank you, Jeff. I don't blame you guys. It is late. I don't know what I'm doing here, but we're gonna continue. Why not? Okay, so he enters the second cantina. This is the one that has all the bad characters in it, right? And they were like all like the other ones were eyeing him. These guys were like really eyeing him. And Grief offers him Imperial credit. Now, this is really good writing, you guys, because this is right after the fall of the Empire. Imperial credits are no bueno anymore. So we got a little, remembrance of that. I like that part. And then Grief offers him a puckless job. Those little pucks, that's what they called them. That kind of would give them the information on their bounty. And he had a question, is this from the underworld? Now, the way that they toned that question, like that was like, okay, is this something important? Are we going to learn about the underworld later? And apparently there is reference of the underworld, like a criminal organization underground. And the guy that he ends up meeting with for this bounty, his name's just the Client. So I'm wondering if perhaps maybe he has some kind of connection to this. This doesn't have like a real name. That's Werner Herzog's character. Oh, I can't. He was amazing. Oh my gosh, I want to see him. I hope he has more roles. He did fantastic. And then we got to spot little Jawas. Jawas were fun. We saw those Jawas. And then we saw the DNLDs or Donalds, those garbage can looking droids when he goes into the secret location where the Client is to offer him that puckless bounty. So yeah, I like how, again, the dialogue that our Mandalorian has, he's told by the stormtroopers, we have you 4-1. And he's like, I like those odds. I mean, very good wording choice, very direct to the point and lots of confidence, kind of fun. offers real Beskar for down payment. Those of you who don't know, Beskar is the metal, the rare metal that makes Mandalorian armor. And it is highly sought after, very special, and very resistant to blaster fire. So, thus being so expensive. And so he gives him a little bit. And here's something really weird. Did you guys catch this? I want to know if y'all caught this. There was a specific point in that conversation where the client says, we would like the bounty alive, preferably. But then he makes a whole issue to look over to the other guy and say, but if, you know, I know bounty hunting is a complicated, you know, business. You know, if you have to take them dead, then so be it. Right? Y'all remember that? That was really interesting because if you recall towards the end, and this is kind of a jump to the spoiler, at the end, you have IG-11 at the end saying that he was told, like he was given direct orders to kill the that ending surprise that you saw. And that was not what our Mandalorian was told, and they were supposedly from the same guild. So that was a head scratcher for me. There was obvious intention to mention that little bit, and then like have that moment where IG-11 said, "No, I was supposed to kill him," and then Armando, of course, took poor IG out. Yeah, so then we find out that the client or the client wants a bounty that is supposedly 50 years old. And at that point I was like, see guys, told you it's not the kid. It's not the kid. But I didn't know what I was in for then. Then the client says something really interesting too, right after he kind of sends him on, but he ends up saying when he gives him the Beskar medal, he says, Beskar belongs to Mandalorians, best to return to the natural order of things after such disarray. I'm wondering if that's a clear reference back to the Siege of Mandalore. You know, I'm just curious about that. I feel like there's a lot, and that was kind of, I just feel like there's a lot of flashbacks here. All right, and so then our Mandalorian takes the Beskar that he was given as a down payment straight to the Mandalorian armory. And that's where he meets this really interesting female Mando with little ears on her helmet. And I'm wondering if that's a reference to the Night Owls. The Night Owls were like female warriors, female Mando warriors. Anyway, that was the one that was the person I think that we spotted in one of my reviews or one of my little videos I put out. I said, oh, there's a female helmet. Yeah. So she asks if his signet has been revealed and he says no. And she says soon. So I'm curious what that is about. And again, I don't have extensive knowledge in the EU. I'm coming at this as somebody who has seen all of the movies many times, Clone Wars, Rebels. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I have read the Thrawn series though, thanks to the Geeks and Gamers book review club. We're going over the Thrawn series right now. I'm very fun, love it a lot. So then she creates him a pauldron for his shoulder, which is really nice. And says the excess will be great for the foundlings. And then during this, he's having all those flashbacks again to what seems to be a terrible time in his history and the origin story unfolding, if you will, for a Mandalorian. So after he gets his pauldron, he arrives on a new planet where blurgs attack. Those silly blurgs, those crazy looking blurgs. And again, I love the way that they did the creatures. Sometimes CGI they can try to make it so realistic that it comes off the exact opposite on screen. And I feel like this translated well for me. It had it was fun. It had the whim of a new hope to it, like kind of felt like kind of a callback to that. I really enjoyed that. So it's kind of funny. Quill, the Ugnaught, saves him. And I want to talk I'm going to talk a little bit about Quill, but I want to get back in the chat and see what you guys are up to. So I'm going to come right back to it and see where did I end off. Let's see here. Okay. Going to bed, Jeff. Yes. Hey, it's Christmas. Okay. Yeah. Life Day like it's Christmas. Yes. Let's see here. Norian Kryptonian, 1041. All right, we won't get Disney Plus until March next year. Oh, bummer. Nulty Resurgence. Yes. Maestro Drake. There was a super battle droid in one of the trailers. I wonder if it's a mere Easter egg or summon appointment. I think it is very important. There was also a droid gunship, the platform gunship that kind of peeked through the clouds right overhead. And it was in a few of the TV spots after. There was actually a few battle droids. I think this was a very significant part in our Mandalorian's origin story. Let's see. Devil-eyed Elvis, the pucks seem to be not only info, but also the license to hunt somebody. Very interesting. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, and then that's why IG-11 and he maybe had some disagreement about who would have the ability to go after that one because it was puckless. I like that. Maybe. Christy, hey girl, how you doing tonight? Glad you are up with me. I am not going to probably do one of these this late ever again. I'm probably going to do live streaming normal time after this, but I just couldn't help myself today. LOL, everyone's now talking about The Mandalorian, as they should be. It was a great show. Everyone should be talking about this. And guess what? It's going to be all week long and this weekend because Friday, the second episode comes out. So it's just boom, boom, boom. We are going to be moving along this series pretty quick, I think. Geeky Candy, if they weren't working for the same client, it would make sense. Yeah. I agree. But they said, I think there was an interaction between them about them being in the guild together or something like that, which confused me. So I'm wondering if there's someone in the guild that's maybe giving some wrong information, or maybe the droid was hacked in some way. I don't know. Okay. Geeky Candy. What I was impressed with is that he had to learn how to ride. He got thrown. Actually, it comes to think. And how cowboy is that scene? I mean, seriously, learning how to ride. I just thought, again, the consistency of the theme, the motif of it being a spaghetti Western, it was fantastic throughout. I love a series that can set ground rules and set laws in place in our series and be consistent. And I feel like, at least in this first episode, it had that, and I enjoyed it. Gives you a sense of familiarity early on and comfort with what you're watching. And I like that. I enjoy misdirection. I enjoy, surprises, but I don't enjoy when things like space horses pop up randomly on a ship. Things that break the normal laws that we're used to. You know what I mean? The Purge was when the Empire wiped out the Mandalorian tribes. I think so. Again, I'm not super familiar with the EU, but I am doing a lot of reading up on Mandalorian lore lately, just trying to be more prepared for my reviews. But I don't want to come at this I don't want to come at this show and with my reviews as someone with extensive, albeit knowledge on any of this, because most of the people on YouTube watching these kinds of things are not like that. And I want it to be relatable. So I'm coming at this hopefully from a place that a lot of people can understand the show too, and maybe throw in a few nuggets here and there just because I take extensive notes and I do a lot of research, but I do not know a ton of EU stuff. All right, chat, don't forget to hit that like button. Oh, thank you. I would appreciate that. That'd be awesome. Closest to a Western these days, isn't it though? Gosh, the shooting from the hip all the time, and just the pacing of it all, the walking off into the sunset kind of thing. It was wonderfully done. There was care that went into this, and you could tell it was there, and I enjoyed that from a production standpoint. I know it was like my youth. That's funny. All right. So moving on, we're going to talk a little bit about Quill. So Quill, if you don't know, is an Ugnaught. And an Ugnaught is, if you don't recall from Empire Strikes Back, Ugnaughts are the ones that were they're in Bespin doing the carbonite freezing operation. They were there with Han and Darth Vader and Boba Fett and all of the others that were watching Han Solo, the first live subject, being frozen in carbonite. And the Ugnaughts are the ones that basically work that whole thing. So I find it very appropriate to have an Ugnaught be this supporting character for our Mandalorian. He is going to be freezing a lot of bounties, so it kind of makes sense. Couple things about Quill. Did anybody else get sort of the cowboys and Indians vibe with Quill in our Mandalorian. Quill often said, "I have spoken. I have spoken." And the way his dialogue was very, it felt very Indian to me. Again, with that motif of the Western and of the cowboy and the Indian working together. I loved it. I loved it. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I'm not sure you guys all saw that too. Just the "I have spoken" over and over and over again. It was kind of cute. I love Quill's character already. I think he's fantastic. He is teaching him how, just as the Indians taught, I think Indians taught many Westerners how to ride. Right? They were teaching him how to tame wild horses. I think that if my history serves correctly, I thought that they did help that. So I thought this was like kind of a clear cut back to that. And during this, we kind of see a new characteristics of our Mando. We see him having this gentler approach to things, which is kind of nice. You see him kind of nuzzling softly on the nose of the blurg, and really trying hard to be patient with him. Yeah, it's kind of nice because they're using these opportunities to slowly introduce new characteristics of our protagonist. So he didn't come off so so staunchly, just somebody cold on screen, so have some relatable qualities. Let's see here. Favreau nailed with the spaghetti Western aesthetic, and it works since the Empire's gone and the galaxy's lawless. Exactly. It got thrown into chaos, essentially, like the Wild Wild West. Criminals now rule, and every species is fighting for survival. Yeah, people are fighting for control, territories and such. Yeah, it's a perfect thing to merge the two. Oh my God, it's 22 degrees. Yeah, my family told me, they called me today and they said, "Candace, you're never going to believe this. It's going to be colder here than it is where you are in Utah today." Like, great, colder in Texas? Dang. Oh, man. Yeah, you guys have a cold one tonight. Maestro, even as Disney is resourceful with trying to form a flawless Star Wars canon, especially with the books and Marvel comics, eventually they'll self-contradict, which is why TV and movies are best. I can agree to that. Definitely. There's so much put out there about this. It was with Star Wars. It's so tough to follow it all without the contradictions. And then because of the contradictions, you get this split in the fandom. It feels like, it's tough. It's tough. But I mean, that's what you get when you get such a huge, I mean, Star Wars is one of a kind, for good reason. So going back to basically, so Mando overcomes the whole blurg riding experience, right? So then he rides up with Quill to this town, overlooking the town, and he ends up seeing IG-11 there. IG-11 beat him to the bounty, and how cool did IG-11 look? I mean, they showed him like in every single TV spot and trailer. So, they were proud of this creation that they have. When I say creation, I know IG-88 was already there, but in terms of putting him on screen in this way, his movement, his dialogue choices, his voice acting with Taika Waititi, which, by the way, I was expecting more of a childish approach with Taika's, he did a character in Thor. It was terribly funny. It was very good comic relief to see this big, huge, hulking stone guy like talking, in a little children's voice kind of thing. It was so cute. So I was thinking it was going to be something like that with IG-11, but no, they took it to be more droid-like voice, but still I loved it. You could feel personality with it, which was I enjoyed, even though it was droidy. Is that a word? Droidy. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Droidy. And they ended up working out a split on the reward, which I thought was kind of funny. Let's see. Ancient One. Hello, how are you? I'm glad you made it tonight. I am not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be sleeping, but I saw the show and I can't help but hop online and see what everyone else thought about it too. The next part is this shootout, right? The shootout. It's like a total Western film where you have this huge shootout. Everybody's just shooting at everybody, and it's a shootout. Classic. So, it was kind of, and I think this was where we saw a lot of the Klatooinians. They kind of look like Trandoshans, but I think that they're Klatooinians, which kind of people were thinking maybe Bosk-like, but I don't know if that's them. I don't know if that's them. I don't think it is, but maybe. Couldn't get a good enough look. And I haven't done my good review where I like frame by frame it yet, so maybe I'll figure it out. And here I just wrote big heart. Big heart. Love IG's moves. Love them. Love them. They were so fun to watch. And I love how he says he wants to self-destruct like 3 times because protocol says he cannot be captured. I thought it was so great. I mean, the comic relief was a low-key comic relief, but it had great screen presence. It played well. I loved it. Let's see here. I think IG-11 will be repaired and he'll be here. Yeah, there might be more versions of him. I think Taika Waititi. I don't think he would have signed on to just one episode. That seems like such a good character to waste if that was the case. So let's see here. Ancient One, I'm doing well and glad I made it to your live stream. Amazed you're up at this hour. Yeah, me too. I'm amazed that my bags aren't showing as bad as they should be right now because I'm feeling them. I'm like ready to, my bed's like right over there. I'm ready to go to bed. It's so tired, but I love this. This is so much fun to talk about. I wasn't expecting to feel this way today. And I feel like I got a little piece of my Star Wars back. And that's a good feeling. And you want it to kind of last a little while. You don't want it to end. And I know as soon as I go to bed and stuff, it's going to be kind of like, buzzkill. Oh, I'm just holding off a yawn there. See, I'm tired, you guys. Mandalorian versus Westworld. Oh, interesting. Well, if they do ever come out with like a second season, I hope that it fares better than Westworld did. It was like woke world after that point. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah. The dialogue between our Mandalorian and the IG-11 was really interesting during that shootout. You know, they were kind of loosened up sort of like as pals, as friends, you know, and he would say, all right, we're going to shoot our way out. And then he sees the guy come up with a huge turret gun and he's like, new plan. I love that. It was so funny. It was fun to see. Just the dialogue kind of was comical from me. And then the way that our Mandalorian just like hopped on that turret and just swung around and everything, it was so cool. I'm going to make sure I have that little part in my video when I do the review. I have it starred next to action sequence I enjoyed. That was a lot of fun. And then the FOB, the FOB device that tracks all of his bounties ended up taking him to this weird orb, right? And we're like, it says there's a life form in there. And I was thinking, okay, it's a baby, but they said it's 50. And this was going in my head. Okay. And I was like, okay, baby, that's 50. This is weird. And then they open it and it's like a baby Yoda, you guys. Baby Yoda. And then we have IG-11 saying he's going to try to kill it, or that he was told he needs to kill it. And then you hear a gunshot and it ends up being our Mando killing IG-11. You guys. What? My heart's like, it was wonderful. And again, this is the first episode. There's a lot of plot to go through the rest of the series. And I pray that it is not going to be a woke disaster. I have faith, though, based on the things I've been reading with Jon Favreau taking the lead in this. You know, he has said he's come out on a few things and been interviewed by a few different media sources, and his answers seem to be very evenly balanced. He doesn't come off like a Rian Johnson. We'll just put it that way. He doesn't give me Rian Johnson vibes. So yeah, I feel like this is it's a great start. It's a great start. Now my expectations have been raised. That's always going to happen with a good start, right? But yeah, I'm hoping for the best with this one. So I want to catch up with the chat and see what you guys think. Okay, let's see here. I'm just happy it felt like Star Wars, right? Right? Yeah, me too. I feel like it was, it was just long past due. I mean, like what, 15 years? So what was it? I forget. It's been a long time. And if you don't think it was Star Wars, let's put in a yeah. I mean, they had so many callbacks, Yoda aside. And I had a feeling, I know some spoilers, and I don't want to go into those in later episodes, but I had a feeling we were going to see a Yoda species. I knew we were going to see a Yoda species. I didn't know it was going to be the first episode. I didn't know that was going to be the big whoa moment that they all kept saying was going to happen in the very first episode. It's going to be like a huge, like just a huge thing that's going to happen. That's going to make everybody crazy. Oh my God. I told you, I'm so tired. I cannot handle this. I think there was somebody else who wanted to possibly join. Let me see. I can, wish I could have met lunch. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, I feel like the Yoda thing is going to be the topic of discussion, obviously, with everybody, this week. I think that it's going to be something that could be upsetting to some people, because after reading a little bit about Yoda, I believe there's a lot of talk about how George Lucas never was going to want to diverge into Yoda's history and stuff like that, and his species in general. Like, it was like a no-go zone. And so I'm wondering what changed. I'm wondering if this was a behind the back kind of thing, because obviously this species is important in the series. It was the very end of the first episode. It was the cliffhanger. It's going to play a role, and I would wager a significant one. So I'm just wondering what changed. If a lot of people are upset about the fact that maybe Favreau is not honoring Lucas in that way. But again, there's all this discussion, and from all the things I've read, that they were a lot of times together in all of this, like putting this whole thing together. Lucas was there a lot with this series. And this is the very first live action series for Star Wars. So, I imagine he'd want to see it succeed. Let's see here. Maestro, I think that dark comedy hit Rise of Skywalker is a woke disaster enough. Hashtag The Mandalorian. Oh God, Rise of Skywalker. I still haven't decided if I'm going to see that. I've seen that trailer like 3 more times since I did my initial reaction, and I still don't know where I fall on that. I don't even want to talk about it. It's depressing. I'm like on an upper, you guys. I cannot handle the Rise of Skywalker right now. No talk of that. Lucas Rada. What's Lucas Rada? I'm missing that one. I'm sorry. If they ever did a Star Wars show about the Ewoks, they should take the Predators approach. Put a bunch of people on a planet filled with Ewoks. Yeah, pretty much. That would be funny. I like that idea. Yeah, as he was walking through the market, there was one on a spit. Oh. Yeah, I was taking notes during that part because that was right after the meeting. And so I missed some of the stuff that was like the transitional stuff when he was going from one place to another. And that's one of the things I'm going to be keeping a close eye on, those transitional moments for my big review. Kowakian monkey lizard. Okay. Yeah. I need to catch up on my creature knowledge for sure. I'm glad you know, George. I can always ask you. It might be good for George Lucas himself to cameo in the next Mandalorian episodes, guessing here. Well, maybe. I mean, there's a lot of like different kinds of aliens and stuff that he could hide behind too. I don't know. Has he made many cameos? I don't even think he has he? Like in any of his Star Wars stuff? I'm not sure about that. But I'm curious what you guys think about the importance of the Baby Yoda. Theory time. What is the importance of the Baby Yoda? That's what I want to know. I want to speculate because I am trying to figure out, why would someone want him dead versus alive? And why would someone want him alive versus dead? I feel like that is a central point here. Like there's a reason that the client preferred him alive, and it had to do with that doctor looking guy. Was it a doctor? I don't even know. I can't remember. Not gonna lie, I'm here to support Dave Filoni. Maybe he can put the movies back on track. The first episode was way better than The Last Jedi. Yeah. I mean, I like Dave Filoni's stuff. I know there's a lot of people that are, you're either with Dave or not. And I enjoyed Clone Wars. But again, my knowledge of the EU does not go beyond the animated series and the movies, other than the Thrawn series. That's it. And I will say, after reading the Thrawn series, my opinion of Thrawn is that I appreciated his character in the books much more than his on-screen in Clone Wars. I feel like there was a definite, I don't know, they didn't capture the, I guess, all of Thrawn in the way that I would have wanted after reading about him in the series. So I can understand the hesitancy for people to like Dave. If you are a strict EU lover, I get it. Because after reading that, I can see the differences. Let's see. Clone. Oh, Yoda clone. Possibly. I mean, that is very possible. They had clones of different people and perhaps different I'm so tired. And they had clones, maybe they had clones of Yoda species too. Potential Jedi. Oh, potential. Yeah, that could be. It's not Yoda though, because it's not going to be Yoda. Yeah, and the timeline wouldn't work for that. If the baby Yaddle Yoda didn't have force powers or Will's connection, it would throw off a real climax. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I mean, obviously something important has to be surrounding this child. The state of the galaxy, I think, plays an important part too, like where we are. So the Empire just got knocked the heck out, right? And we're left with all of this open space that people are trying, different parts that are left over from the Empire. There are a lot of factions left over. We're still going to see Giancarlo Esposito's character, who's Moff Gideon, and he, I think, has like a whole battalion of death troopers with him and stuff. So I don't know exactly his role in this, but I know that he is going to be one competing for power. And I'm curious where that stands with people like the Client and whoever else we see that is looking for a foothold in this. And with that all being said, where someone like this Yoda would fall into place with all that, I like that I'm still kind of like curious. I like that I really have no idea, because I mean, I want to know, don't get me wrong, but there's so much that it could be. There's so much to ponder still. And I love this cliffhanger for that reason. I think it's great. It sparks discussion like this, which is one thing that you don't get with these binge runs anymore. I love that they're doing releases that may not all be weekly, but a few days to kind of decompress before you move on. Let's see. Next, Jehudi 989. I think the Mandalorian was saved by Yoda during the flashback scene when he was a baby. So when he saw the baby of Yoda species, he had to save it. So he just kind of like, he had a moment of, a moment of nostalgia of just kind of being with Yoda again and seeing that, okay, yes, I need to save the species because I see green. I love green. I like that. I like that. Let's see. Yoda's baby is a secret Is this the secret Skywalker they're going to be bringing in supposedly? Or not secret Skywalker, but the secret Jedi. The secret Jedi that they're going to be bringing in to save the Rise of Skywalker, supposedly. What a mess. Yoda clone would explain the scientist's interest. It sure would. Gosh, I'm trying to, like, all the yawns, like, go away, yawns. I'm just having a really tough time with the yawns. If a Luke Skywalker clone existed, they would have to not only make a body for him, they'd also have to snag his Force ghost and put him in the body. Oh, is that something you learn in the EU? See, I need to know that. But I just, gosh, the clone thing, it would make sense. It would make sense because I feel like the flashback is definitely Clone Wars. Just want to know. I want to know what the deal is with Yoda. Show is off to a terrible start. Glad I didn't pay. JK. I was like, well, what are you doing in here? I'm like, but I do encourage dissenting opinion. I love dissenting opinion. I think having it makes it a much more richer conversation. So don't be upset if you have a different opinion and want to say it. I would love to hear it. The show sounds like it's going to be fun. Looking forward to future reviews. Oh, thank you. Well, I'm going to have one in the next 48 hours. Tomorrow is a busy day for me. And I'm going to be doing a live stream for a friend on his channel too. So tomorrow's going to be a bit busy. Wait, is tomorrow Wednesday or Tuesday? Tomorrow is Wednesday. Yeah, I'm going to be on live stream with him. And then after that, I'm going to be working out this mega review. Lots of details. And if you've seen any of my other reviews on like trailers and stuff, you know I go into mega detail. I look for everything that I can and share it. Also, whenever someone yawns, hello, listening out. Yeah, I am like saying that over and over and over again tonight. I don't know how much longer I can keep on going, but yeah. So okay, Baby Yoda. We have some ideas. I like that. I like that a lot. My other question is, what do we think Cara Dune's role in this is going to be? She hasn't been introduced yet, but she was in the one of the latest TV spots, basically training villagers of some sort. She was literally like samurai style, like in those samurai movies where you have the instructor, the sensei, and then you have the bunch of people in a line with the like bamboo sticks doing their like coordinated, martial arts together or whatever it is. I didn't think that was going to be a role that she played, but then they showed that, and I was like, wow, okay, so this is interesting. So she's like an instructor, a teacher, or something. I don't get it. And she's an ex-rebel shock trooper. So we've got Finn, an ex Empire trooper. We've got, if you remember, what is it from Battlefront 2, the story mode, Iden Versio. Is that her name? Iden Versio? I can't remember exactly. She was the main female character in the story mode, and she was also an Empire, like an officer or a trooper of some sort. I can't remember exactly, but then she eventually, helped the rebels. So a lot of like crossover everywhere. And I'm curious, this is a ex-rebel shock trooper though. So that's the main difference. And I'm curious what that means. Okay, love the chat. Going to have to work on cleaning because the wife works tomorrow and I don't want her to have to do it. Oh, what a man. That's really nice. Well, you do that and you tell your wife, Candace, it was lovely chatting with her today in your live stream, and I hope to see her again in one of your future live streams. And you guys have a great night. Thank you for stopping by. Yes, you have a good one, George. So, okay, one last thought. All right. The bounty being the Baby Yoda, I guess we figured that out. There is a female though that is in a lot of the trailers. You even see one of her like lovingly looking at him as she lifts his helmet up. I'm curious what we think about that. Is that going to be a love interest, or is this a flashback to somebody like almost, I hate to say it because it seems like she looks so young, but she almost was like motherly the way she was looking at him. So I don't know. I'm curious, this love interest, if it really is there, if that's going to play a factor in all of this with our Mandalorian too. Anyway, so you guys, I appreciate y'all stopping by. I am going to call it a night. I am so exhausted. I'm going to be back on tomorrow at some point. I don't know if I'm going to do another live or if I'm going to do a quick recorded video, just of just some of the stuff I kind of recap here, but I'm going to have something tomorrow. And then tomorrow night I'm on with Rookie Critic. We're going to be talking about some fun stuff, Mandalorian, of course. And then Friday, Nerdrotic stream, Friday Night Tight. So I hope to see you guys there. And yeah, so anyway, I appreciate you guys stopping by. And until next time, fandom, I'll see you guys later. Bye.